Prove a ridiculer, or he will hate you. Reprove a wise person, and he will love you. This passage sets the tone for our consideration. It calls us to recognize and reject the inclination to ridicule and instead cultivate a humble spirit that accepts correction. The writer of Proverbs candidly describes the ridiculer's reaction to advice. Rather than valuing loving counsel, a ridiculer often becomes defensive, resents the one giving the counsel, or even seeks to discredit the counselor by pointing out his or her flaws. We see evidence of this in life when an individual hears something he does not want to accept. Instead of pausing to consider whether the advice could be valid, he might question the motives behind it, or dwell on how it was delivered. Thus, as Proverbs 9:7-8 indicates, attempting to correct a ridiculer can invite dishonor and hurt because he refuses to see the wisdom being offered. This reality reminds us why we might find it difficult to accept direct counsel. Sometimes, as Ecclesiastes 7:9 warns, our anger might get the best of us, causing us to become offended. We could justify our behavior, point out perceived flaws in the counselor, or look for softer, more palatable advice elsewhere. Unfortunately, when we adopt a ridiculer's attitude, we forfeit the blessings that come from humbly embracing correction. In contrast to the ridiculer's resistance, the Bible highlights how a wise person responds to correction. Proverbs 9:8-9 says, "Do not reprove a ridiculer, or he will hate you. Reprove a wise person, and he will love you. Share with a wise person, and he will become wiser. Teach someone righteous, and he will add to his learning." Instead of hating the counselor, the wise person shows love, gratitude, and humility. Why? Because a wise person recognizes that beneficial counsel, even if it stings at first, can lead to real personal growth. He or she understands that no discipline seems for the present to be joyous, but grievous. Yet over time it produces peaceable fruit. When someone wise receives counsel, they do not retaliate or become defensive. They acknowledge that temporary discomfort can lead to lasting improvement. This approach shows maturity and fosters stronger relationships, as both the wise person and the counselor benefit from open, loving communication. Notice again the phrase in Proverbs 9:9, "Teach someone righteous, and he will add to his learning." The implication is that a humble individual, regardless of age or status, remains teachable. No one is too old or too experienced to grow in understanding. Some people in their later years exemplify this beautifully by accepting Bible truths and making changes to align themselves with godly wisdom. Their humility stands in stark contrast to those who may be younger, yet rigid in their thinking. We can ask ourselves, do I still have a desire to learn? A wise person not only seeks out knowledge but also applies it. True wisdom manifests in our daily actions. This means developing a consistent pattern of examining ourselves, inviting trusted friends or mentors to give sincere, loving input, and praying for humility to handle counsel gracefully. Finally, Proverbs 9:12 reinforces a key lesson. If you become wise, you are wise to your own advantage. But if you are a ridiculer, you alone will bear it. Our response to counsel and our overall attitude toward correction ultimately affect us personally. When we choose wisdom, we benefit in ways such as healthier relationships, better decision-making, and a clear conscience before God and man. On the other hand, a ridiculer who consistently rejects counsel and harbors resentment bears the consequences alone, isolating himself from help, losing trust, and potentially damaging his relationship with others and with God. In a sense, we reap what we sow. If we sow seeds of humility and willingness to learn, the harvest will be abundant in understanding and personal growth. If we sow seeds of ridicule and stubbornness, the harvest may be loneliness, regret, or missed opportunities for improvement. Let us reflect on the contrasts presented in Proverbs 9. The ridiculer invites dishonor and harm by resisting correction, while the wise person grows in love, knowledge, and discernment by accepting counsel. We will all face moments when receiving advice is hard. Our pride might be pricked, or we might dislike the timing or manner in which the counsel is given. Yet if we pause to evaluate the message rather than dismiss the messenger, we may discover pearls of wisdom that strengthen us in the long run. May each of us cultivate the willingness to learn, no matter our age or life stage. Let us strive to be wise, not ridiculers. By doing so, we will not only enrich our own lives but also set a positive example for others. As Proverbs 2:2 says, "Pay attention to wisdom. Embrace it, cherish it, and let it guide your steps. In so doing, you will find joy, spiritual growth, and the peace that comes from living in harmony with godly counsel."